Hello, my name is Olive Mibu, and I'm here to tell my story, my own story. It's titled Miracle in Ward 1. This is a story of hope, faith, despair, and victory. It started in the year 2019, December to be precise. I found out that I was having this bloated tummy. I became unnecessarily fat. And to me, I felt maybe I was eating too much. Fast forward to January, I found out that I was having irregular menses. My menses was fluctuating, so I didn't know what the problem was because I was very, very sure that I wasn't pregnant. So during April 30th, because at this thing I have this ritual of writing the things I want for the year, for the month. I do that for the year too. And one of the things I wrote for me was that I wanted God to show me what was actually wrong with me, because I knew very well that there was something really, really wrong with me, but I couldn't just place my finger on what it was. So May 1st, I called my mom and I was like, see, every other person in the house has seen their menses, and I'm the only one who has not seen her menses yet, because then I was in my aunt's place, and so she was like, okay, no problem, I can go for scan and check what the problem is. So that day, I went with my cousin. I went to scan. I did this abdominal and pelvic scan. And when the doctor checked me, the next thing he gave me this frightful feeling. Next thing was like, "Hey, Olive, there's a problem." And I was like, "What is it?" And then he was like, "Your left kidney is highly enlarged." And at that moment, I can't even say what I felt, because I was confused, I was devastated. I don't know, I can't really explain the way I felt, but I knew I started crying because I don't know, I see kidney problem as a very big issue, because I go through social media and I see people who have kidney issues and what their story is like and everything they have to go through. And I was like, wow, is this the way my life is going to turn out to be? Okay, fast forward to when we got back home. I had to go to a private hospital in Abuja. For some reason, I'm not going to call the name of the hospital. And then the doctor was like, maybe it could be an infection that was causing it. And then he placed me on a treatment. When I started the treatment, I found out that I was already having a back pain. So due to that back pain I was having, I told my mom about it, and then she began to panic. So she said I should start coming back. And that was during the whole COVID-19 pandemic. I was in the north, that's Abuja, and my family was in the east. So I had to take the risk during the lockdown, and I came down to the east. Getting down to the east, I had to go to this Federal Medical Center over there, to see a urologist. On getting there, he checked me with the scan I went for and everything, and then they were like, okay, there's a little confusion because I was having a pain in my right, that's my right flank, and my left kidney is what is being affected. So the doctor sent me for another scan again, and when I went for the other scan, it still confirmed that I was having left kidney hydronephrosis. So I was sent for a test called IV. I went for the test. They make use of dye for the test. So they injected dye into my body to be able to see what was actually causing the obstruction, because they were like, it's caused due to UPG obstruction. So when I was done with the test and everything, the doctor checked it, and then he was like, okay, Olive, you know what, I'm going to fix you for a surgery on the 3rd of August 2020. I said okay, although I was feeling uneasy, I didn't even know what to expect and all that. Like, it was really a trying time for me, and I didn't even know what the surgery was going to be like, because you know now, surgery, kidney and everything. Towards that period, that's the 3rd of August, we called him because I wanted to come and make the deposits. And then doctor was like, he's not around, you should come back the next week. And then I began to panic. I began to feel uneasy and all that. And then after that week, we called him again, and then he said, okay, that I should come to the hospital. We came, and then the next thing was like, I should go get a guide wire and a guide wire and a double J stent. That's, sorry, if you're into urology, you understand what I'm saying. That one he's going to use for the surgery. And then I was like, how would you ask a patient to get what you're going to use to do my surgery? Like, I don't know, it was sounding somehow. And then he was like, okay, we should go and come back the upper week, making it the third week. That by that time he's going to maybe get it and then we'll pay for it and all that. We said no problem. And then the third week came, we came again, and then he was like, he has not found it. They were not like, if you, the doctor, can actually find it, how do you not expect me, the patient, to actually get it? Like, okay, my mom was now confused, and she went on her knees to pray, and then based on what she was like, the Holy Spirit asked her to call her friend, and she called her friend. Her friend was like, hey, that she just finished speaking to someone right now, and it happens that the person had a similar case to mine, and the person was referred to a hospital in Abuja, but then somebody introduced the person to a doctor in Port Harcourt. So, and then he found that it was even a minor issue, something that could be fixed easily. So my mom was like, okay, they should send the doctor's number to her. We got the doctor's number and we called the doctor. When we called the doctor was like, okay, I should come to his hospital. So that was at Cohort Hospital in Port Harcourt. Yeah, so I went to Cohort Hospital in Port Harcourt. I can't really remember the date exactly. But on getting there, he looked at my previous scan and everything and was like, that what he's seeing here, he's not really seeing the actual cause of the obstruction. So I have to go for an urethrascopy. Urethrascopy is a kind of, I'll call it like a procedure too, but it's a surgery because you can only use it to cure kidney stone. So, but then he was going to use that procedure to ascertain what was really causing the blockage, as in my urethra. So fast forward, I go back home. I told my mom what happened, and she said, okay, we paid the money to the doctor, and then I came back to the hospital for the test. When I got to the hospital, the next day, because I came a day to the day, and then the next morning, they wheeled me into the theater. They gave me the spinal anesthetics, and he started with the procedure. During the procedure, he found out that my bladder was actually blocked. Like, he had issues with even penetrating on that because he was going through from my bladder. And then he had to, based on him, he had to laser. And then he was trying to pass a double J stent for me at that point, so I could be using it for the meantime before the main surgery. But then he wasn't able to pass through because that my urethra was actually blocked. Like, I don't know how to explain it scientifically, but there was a blockage. And so he was like, you know what, that he can't do anything about it now, that I have to come back for a proper surgery. And okay, I was devastated though, because I felt with that test, he was going to know what exactly was wrong with me. You know, this feeling of one thing is to have a problem, and another thing is to know exactly what the problem is. And now my own case is that nobody could tell, okay, what was causing the blockage. And when you can't tell what the problem is, as in what's causing the problem, you won't be able to solve the problem. So that was my story. So fast forward, he was like, I should come back to in the next 2 weeks. So in the next 2 weeks, we called him, and then we had to make a deposit of 1.5 million naira. And I don't know, it was funny because this was during the COVID-19, the whole 2020 lockdown, like everywhere was tight, there was recession and everything. I was like, how would my family raise 1.5 million naira at that point? Because 2020 was not funny and everything, so I didn't even know how the miracle was going to happen. And then my biggest fear was them posting my picture on Facebook to source for help and all that. Like, I so much dread that. Sorry, I'm not being insensitive here. I'm not saying the people who do that like it's bad, but I don't know. I just feel like I'll feel somehow about it and all that. Like the whole world's going to know what I was going through and everything. But as usual, God always makes a way. A miracle happened, and God provided the money. Some people were able to send money. My family were able to raise the money. My best friend, was able to give me some money, and that was how we were able to pay the money for the last. Yeah, I'll call it the second surgery because the first one was almost like a surgery, although it didn't pull through. And then I came back to Cowards Hospital in Port Harcourt, and I came a day today as usual, and the next day he wheeled me into the theater. During the process of the surgery, he found out that he was trying to pass this double J stent, but instead of going to where my kidney was, the double J stent was going to some other place. And that brought confusion because he was wondering, is he dealing with ectopic kidney, or what was the problem? Why would the stent be going to somewhere else instead of going to where the kidney was exactly? And so he had to like stop the surgery. At that point, I was so sad. I felt bad. I was like, God, what is all this? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is all this? And okay, I was like, you're the one who provided the money, so why can't you make the same surgery successful? And so I left the theater. He was like, okay, that I have to go for another test to ascertain what the problem is. If he's dealing with an ectopic kidney, to know if my kidney is where it's supposed to be, because the double gestation was going to another direction. I had the surgery on a Saturday, and on a Monday I was taken to BMH, that's River State Teaching Hospital. On getting to BMH, they ran those tests for me. IUV, I had to do another IUV test again because they did a scan first, yeah, and they were like, my kidney is where it's supposed to be, so why was the stent not going to where it's meant to, where the kidney is? And then I had to do an IUV test, and we had to insert dye again into my body, because then when they started dye into my body, they were able to like view what the problem was. And after then, the doctor was like, the lab scientist, was like, we're dealing with infundibulary obstruction, and sorry, I don't know what that is, and even to date I don't even know what that is. Okay, getting back to this, the doctor was like, he called me to his office, and he was like, Olive, we need to talk. And I came into his office, and I was like, okay, what's the problem? He said, I'm going to try one more procedure for you, but if it doesn't work out, I would have to remove your kidney. At that moment, I couldn't just explain how I felt. Like, how am I going to live with one kidney? At what age? At 21 years, I was going to live with one kidney. Like, what about my future? What about the things I hope to do? Like, my plans and everything. And then he was like, I could live a normal life with one kidney. At that point, there was nothing he said that ever made sense to me. I couldn't just imagine myself living with one kidney. And then he was like, okay, that should go, that he's going to try one more time. That's making it the third procedure I was going for. I left his office that day, and I walked into the ward, and my mom was like, Olive, what's the problem? And then I was like, Mom, if God doesn't intervene, your 21-year-old daughter is going to be living with one kidney. And at that point, I knew she was broken. I knew she had so much to say, but then she had to be strong for me. And then she gave me all the emotional support she could. She spoke to me, she read the Bible to me and everything. And that night, I prayed like never before. I prayed for 2 straight hours, and I was very sure that I didn't repeat words. I had to tell God, okay, this is how I feel, and this is it. Like, you just have to help me. I can't even imagine what my life is going to be with one kidney. Like, I couldn't even just imagine it. I couldn't even just place it in my head. And at that point, I prayed to God. I held hands to my mom. Like, even my mom was surprised. She was like, wow, she'd never seen me pray like this before. I couldn't even speak in tongues because this was not even a matter of speaking in tongues. Like, I needed God to see my heart. I needed him to see how I felt. Like, I needed him to see the pain in my heart and everything. I was like, I thought his gifts were perfect. So why would he give me an imperfect kidney and then he still wants to take it away from me? I didn't even know what to do. I just had to, like, God just has to come and intervene in the issue. Okay. The next morning, they rolled me into the theater, and then though I felt really happy because that moment you've prayed and then it's like God have already answered your prayer, and you're having this faith, like your faith was high, you're very optimistic, like your mind, you're like, hey God, today's the day, my miracle is coming today and all that. And then that day, which is unlike me, when they were giving me the spinal anesthetic, I didn't shake. Like, today's my miracle day, so I have to endure all the pain and everything in good faith. And then when the surgery started, like 1 hour after the surgery, Dr. Jack looked at me and he was like, Olive, you failed again. I don't even explain how I feel, as in how I felt then, because I couldn't even absorb the news. I started crying immediately, and I was begging him. I was like, "You should try one more time." He told me, "I can't try again, even with the camera inside your body. Like, I'm seeing a dark end, and I don't know what that is. What if I go in and then I don't know what to expect? Like, I don't know what to do. I think I don't understand how God could put your kidney. I think I have to remove it." And at that moment, I almost went into a panic attack. So he had to leave there because I was being too emotional, and probably would have been pushed him to do something that he was not meant to do. So the other nurses and doctors there, especially Nurse Lynette, they gave me all the moral support they could. Like, I think that day there was no kind of emotional, like, the emotional support I didn't get that day. There was no kind of motivational speech I did not hear that day. Like, that day it was really, really emotional. I thought God failed me. I was angry with God. I couldn't just understand why he couldn't hear my prayers after everything. I couldn't just understand why he couldn't just have mercy on me, even with the way I prayed. Even not because of me, I think he should have looked at my mom, because I was very sure my mom was serving him. And out of anger, the next day, I told my mom that I wanted to leave the hospital. I don't care if I was fine or not. She tried persuading me to get better first. I said no, that I just wanted to leave the hospital. And then she said, okay. That day I left the hospital, and when I got back home, I had this pain, like serious pain. My kidney was, where my kidney was, like at this side, it was really, 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 really swollen, like at this point. And I felt the pain, like I was screaming that night. And at that moment, it was like that felt so easy. Something was like, oh, the body just accept to die, and then this pain goes away. But then I wanted to leave. So I was like, God forbid, I'm not gonna die. God forbid, I'm not gonna die. And at that point, I had to ask God to forgive me if I had said anything wrong. I don't know. Whatever it was, that fine, I'm willing to live with one kidney. I said the Father I was going to live with one kidney. I gave up. I was like, fine, that even with the one kidney, I was going to meet up to my potential, and I'm going to become everything God wanted me to be, and even more. So the doctor came up, okay, with an light, and he said, okay, like, you know what? He's going to try another procedure. Like, he went back to research. Then he's going to give me a ballpoint opening from here, and then he's going to look through the camera to see if he can see what the problem was. We agreed. He said we should come back in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time, we came back. When we got back to the hospital, so we came on a Friday. On the Monday, when he was to bring me to the theater, they already inserted the drip into my hand, into my veins already, for me to go into the theater. The doctor changed his mind, and then he was like, let me do that scan again for you. So he took me to the scan room, and then he checked me. He found out that my left kidney was so enlarged that it was almost touching my pelvic. So he looked at me and he was like, Olive, it's becoming serious, and this is going to be a 50-50 chance. I don't know what to do. I don't have a mind on what to do, but I'm going to open you up, and whatever I see, I'll fix it. If I can't fix it, I'll remove the kidney. And this is not something only me can do. I have to call other doctors to help me. And okay, I said no problem. So he had to push the surgery from that Saturday to a Monday. I called my mom and I told her, okay, look at what the problem was, and she said no problem. That again, that she has always been thinking about this open surgery. That if you've tried non-invasive like up to 3 times, I think the next option is an open surgery. So that morning, fast forward to Monday morning, yeah, on that Monday morning, he called me and then he was like, I hope I'm ready to go into theater. I remember it's 50-50. Whatever it is, that anything that, if it's something you can fix, you will fix. If it's something you cannot fix, fine, you have to remove my kidney. So it was more like I was going to go into that theater. I would either come out with my kidney intact, or I'm going to come out with only one kidney, or probably I may not even come out alive. So it was 50-50. And that morning when I walked into the theater, the anesthesiologist looked at me and he was like, the surgery is going to stay till midnight. And then the Nigerian girl in me, I was like, God forbid I reject it. And then he was like, he's not telling me religion, he's telling me science. This is the fact, I don't even know what we were going to do. Like, everything was just on a 50-50 chance. So when he started the surgery, immediately he opened me up, he saw what the problem was. I know you're going to be shocked, like, what will a wound be doing in the kidney? Like, I had a wound in my kidney and then it formed a scar. So the scar was obstructing the flow of urine. Like, my kidney was creating urine, but it wasn't excreting urine. So the doctor, I don't know, I think he used laser to correct the issue. I think it's a tissue problem. And by the time he was done, he sutured me up. The next thing he was like, okay, that he's going to pass a guide wire from there down to my bladder. I should pray he sees it. If not, he will conduct an urethrascopy again, another procedure again on me. But then I was really happy that he had already seen what the problem was. And then when he started the whole, he tried going in, like, he looked through for my bladder to see if he could find the gateway, and lucky enough, he found it immediately. So now, a surgery that was supposed to stay a whole day happened to just 2 hours, like just 2 hours. I don't think God was good. Like, don't you think like he has a way of doing things? Like, he answers our prayers even when we don't seem like he hears us. Like, he's just there for us. And that's how God did the miracle for me, and I was so happy. I think that was the happiest day of my life. I think before they could even wheel me to the world, my mom had already gotten news that my surgery was successful, and we were so happy. In fact, that day I couldn't even sleep. I slept in the evening, yeah, when I started having pains and all that, which was normal for me to have the pains and all that. I know you guys will be wondering, what is the name Miracle in Ward 1? Okay, I came up with the idea because when I had my first procedure, I was in Ward 6, and I had my second procedure, I was in Ward 3, and I had my third procedure, I was in Ward 2, and when I had the final procedure that God gave me my victory, where God performed the wonderful miracle, I was in Ward 1. That was why I named it Miracle in Ward 1. What if by the time I found out about this thing, it was already too late? Maybe by then my kidney was already damaged and I'll be needing a kidney transplant. Would I even think my family can actually afford that? Like, can I even go through the whole stress and the pain and everything? I don't know. A lot of times we make plans, but God's plans are always the best. This year, this 2020, I had so much plans. I had my things figured out. I wanted to go for National Youth Service. I had a lot of things. I wanted to start up a business. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. But while I was planning all those things, like, I wasn't even, like, my health wasn't even put into consideration. But while I was planning, God had his own plans for me. He knew that if this issue was not sorted out, it actually could become a problem for me in future. Probably maybe by the time I find out about it, oh God, like, I would have been lost, gone, like, or probably maybe one day while I'm like in a happy mood and all that, and then one day I'm going to fall on the floor and just be that she's dead, just like that. as I always say, God's ways are perfect and His precepts are divine. Okay, I have a good news for you guys, like a really, really, really good news, and I hope you guys will be excited. Guess what? We're going to be shooting Miracle in Ward 1, like the movie, a short movie about Miracle in Ward 1. There, I'm going to give you guys the full details. Like, you know what, man? I did not like say everything that went down. Like, I was trying to just give you guys like a tip of the iceberg, like. But then, like in the movie, I'll go into details. I'll talk about everything, my journey, the times I lost hope, the times when I had faith, the times when my hopes were dashed, the times when I felt like God was not answering my prayers, the time when I was angry with God, like, and the time when I received my miracle, because that was the highlight of everything. So you guys should get ready for Miracle in Ward 1, and if you want to be part of those beautiful projects, no problem, I'm always available. You can contact me, or you can chat me up on my social media handle will be shown on the screen, and my phone number too. So I'm up for collaboration, and if you want to be part of the cast or the crew, no problem. You guys should get ready for the movie Miracle in Ward 1, and trust me, it's gonna be a movie of hope, faith, love, and victory. Like, I don't know who this movie is going to inspire, because it was during the time of my greatest downfall. That was the moment I found out that stories are really, really powerful. It was people's stories that I listened to that were my driving force. Like, I killed into their faith, and that was how I was able to receive my miracle. So I'm willing to give back. I don't know who's going to listen to my story. I don't know who is going to have hope and have faith that God is still in the business of doing miracles. I want to give a shout out to some few individuals that were there for me, that God used during my trying points. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to my mom. Yeah, Mama, you're the best. Like, she's both my mother and my father. She's been there from day one. I want to give a big shout out to my brother, my elder brother, Ekenemiwo. I want to tell you that I love you and you're the best. I want to give a big shout out again to my best friends, like Chidubem Francis Chidubem. I love you so much, and I see every single thing you've been doing for me. And I want to give a big shout out to Hillsong United. Your song kept me going. Priscilla Shire, Sarah Roberts, and all the gospel musicians and all the gospel preachers out there. Trust me, like, listening to your message, like, gave me hope and strength. And I want to say thank you to Pastor Emma Osaka of Christ Embassy Oji. So thank you so much for your prayers and your love. And I want to give a big shout out to all my friends, those who prayed for me, those who checked up on me, and those who cared for me. And I want to say that I love you so much, and you guys should get ready for Miracle in Ward 1. Like, that movie is going to be a bomb. Bye. Thank you so much.